All right, so since Matthew Crawley is able to transform from a British gentleman and from British aristocracy into a Southern hunk, I was wondering, we're a little bit closer to that. Maybe we could do the same. So
Yeah.
let's give it our best Southern costuming and
Let's
accents.
give it a try. Well, ma'am, I don't want to impose.
That's pretty.
Dude, what are you wearing?
What?
Southern?
Yeah, it's like Louisiana. It's like Mardi Gras.
This guy.
No?
No, man, get that off, man.
I don't want to impose, ma'am. What's up, guys? It's Niko here with
JB.
We're bringing you another best and worst movie scenes.
Yes, it is time for our best and our worst scenes of the movie The Guest.
The Guest.
Yeah, so I will start us off. I'm going to tell you guys what my best scene is and what was the best scene in the whole movie. It was a scene when David and Anna come back from a party that they were at, a little Halloween party. They just get back in. Tension's a little high. There's clearly some sexual tension between them. And they say goodnight, and then Anna goes in and says she's going to make him a mixtape of some songs that he liked when they were driving, she heard. And so she goes in her room, throws her headphones on, and the song starts playing in the background that she's supposedly listening to. And she's just kind of laying in her bed thinking about the night, about him, everything. And so it's a really good song that's playing. I really like the music of the scene. She's got a lot of emotions going on in her head, it seems like. And then she turns the lights off, and then the camera pans out to outside of the house, and it transitions over to the window of his room, and David's sitting on the edge of his bed, just totally staring into the night with this like crazy scowl on his face, just looking like clearly he's got some issues. So I thought that scene was really cool. I thought just the way that how she was all in her own mind about the emotions of the night, and then when we see him, he's just clearly focused on whatever it is in his mind. It was a really cool contrast, and the music really kicked in when it went to him. That the music really hit a hard spot. It was really cool.
Yeah, I would have pegged the sex scene to be in your favorite. Okay, no, this one's a close second.
It was a little bit after the sex scene. It came, it followed.
So maybe your mind was still back.
I think that's what it was. That's what it was.
No, that's a good scene. I like that one too. That one was actually in contention for me of one I was thinking about doing. But actually, what ended up winning out for me as the best scene was David interacting with another member of the family. David interacting with the little brother Luke. After they kind of went to the bar and he beat those dudes up, and they come home and he's like, going through life and getting picked on is no way to go through life. It's like you carry that with you, the rest of your life. And he's like, are these guys bigger than you? And he's like, well, yeah. And he's like, then bring a knife to school. And, and if they take the knife away and beat you up, go around their houses at night and burn the house down with their family still inside. But the way he delivered, it sounds like a joke, but the scene sets up one of those typical cliche, sincere, I'm gonna give you advice
like a life lesson
on how to live now.
Yeah.
And instead, he gives him the worst advice possible, but he gives it with the 100% sincerity.
That's so true.
And you can tell he believes this.
Yeah.
And this is one of those scenes I mentioned back in our Netflix review for this movie, that he's a really likable guy, but we see these vignettes of him where he's really weird.
Yeah.
And something's not, he's psychotic and a little sociopathic, and things
Very
about
true.
him aren't right. This is one of those, and this is a big one. And then he gives the kid the knife. He's like, I want you to have this. And the kid, who thinks it's weird, I'll take it. It was just such a scene that it just took such a departure from that life lessons route, turned it on its head by actually giving him terrible advice where David actually thinks he's giving him great advice.
Yeah.
It's like the worst way to deal with any situation, but it was, I like that one.
Yeah, I did think also in that scene, like you said, when he's giving those lines to him, you could see in his eyes, he believes that, take this knife to school, you should do that.
Or if they beat you up again, then escalate once more and burn the house down and with the families and
that's okay, right? Yeah,
and you win, bro. What the heck?
That was a good scene also.
Yeah, I was like, my mouth was like open at that point. So,
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Good call.
So, okay. All right. Perfect. Let's move on. Worst scene. You got one?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
I thought, half the movie in, was loving the movie 100%.
Same here.
Then it kind of got a little bit weird about just telling the story of, why he is how he is.
Yeah.
And a whole squadron comes to the house of the family to find him. And he was doing laundry with the mom, hanging it out to dry like, the great guy he supposedly was.
But if that laundry's bigger than you,
you better
stab some holes in it and burn it down.
That's what he would tell us to do, right? Exactly. But yeah, at that time, they all show up with like crazy amounts of guns, and then they see him, and then he goes into the house, and they like start unloading rounds into the house, and it was kind of, I don't know, for me it was a little bit too much, and I just thought it was like, okay, what's going on here? Like up until that point, it wasn't very like violent. The whole movie was kind of more like hinting at violence. It was like little bursts of violence, but then this was just like this like crazy amount of like guns being shot, and like that was probably my least favorite scene. So if I had to say one.
Okay, I don't have that big of a problem with it. I guess I see it as kind of the explosion of like the climax starting. Like it's setting the stage for everything that's about to go down. It's like cards are on the table now. There's no going back. And that's when everybody starts to die.
Yeah.
It is a little over the top. He's like diving through rooms like Superman, and he's like dodging like machine gun
thousands
fire.
of rounds.
Like the house is getting shredded, and he's somehow fine. My worst scene actually would be an extension of that. Is a little bit before that. Also, I had the same problem as you when they started getting into the why of how he is. I was perfectly ready to believe that he was just a really messed up dude. Maybe the war messed him up. Maybe he was like that before. Something's not right about him. He clearly has a skewed worldview. But instead, they ended up explaining it as with that scene where they're in the military complex or the army base or whatever.
Yeah, wherever it was, they didn't really tell us.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's like, we found him. Like, we got a phone call about him. Like, he's pinged on our radar.
Yeah.
Like, get the chopper. Like, this doesn't get out to the government or the media at all.
Yeah.
Like, or we're finished. And it's like, what is he? Like,
Totally.
Super Soldier 1? Like, what the... And in the end, it turns out he is.
Right.
He's Super Soldier, like, serum guy who's, like, part of this army of super soldiers who all got killed or he went rogue or something. And it just, like, lost the grounding in realism.
Yeah,
which
the mystery of it.
Which might be part of the whole 80s, like, action thriller vibe, but I would have liked it if they had just maybe kept it more ambiguous. So that, to me, took me out of the movie. It was the most misplaced scene, I think. And really was like, really? It kind of got corny. I was like...
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Wasn't a great scene.
All right, dude. Cool. Another one down.
There we go.
So,
let's keep doing.
Social...
This is my social media. Like, I get to hang out with Mr. Niko, and I'm being social. This is great.
That's a really good point, dude.
Right?
I didn't think about that. We've got the audience.
Yeah.
We've got me.
Yeah.
We've got you.
It's my social experiment.
All right. Well, what are you experimenting? What's your hypothesis?
Seeing if I could get better in front of a camera.
Okay. All right. I'm at Mr. Niko Films on Twitter. You can hit me up there, or look me up on Facebook at Mr. Niko. Not at. Facebook's not at. Just Mr. Niko Films. Just shut up.
This guy's social medias? Really?
Anyway, okay. Until next time, what do you guys think of this movie? Do you agree with our best and worst scenes? Are they all best? Are they all worst? Did you hate the movie? Whatever. Leave us a comment, all right? We love it. Okay? Any last words? No, that's it. All right, guys. Until next time.
See ya.
Peace.